22-year-old Kahler Nygard flew from Minneapolis to Denver recently with no hassles at check-in, no hassles at security, no hassles on the flight until it landed. That's when he was ordered to deplane before everyone else. The moment he began marching down the aisle, he was recording on his video phone, all the way into the arms of the TSA. Now, it turns out Nygard had been allowed on the flight because he was no longer on the no-fly list. However, he'd been downgraded to Select D list, denoted by a quadruple S on the boarding pass. Now, this means additional pat-downs and scanning at security. But security officials didn't realize this procedure hadn't been performed until Nygard's flight was midair. It's all on video as he questions the agents outside the gate as to what they want from him and why. They demand a boarding pass. He says he no longer has it. Asked if this was a detainment, their reply was no, but if he didn't follow their directive, the police would track him down. They informed him they intended to screen his body and his bags. He said, "I'm leaving." And with that, he made his way out of the airport onto the street with no police in pursuit. Now, you might be wondering what landed him on the no-fly list in the first place and what got him downgraded. He's told media his assumption is that it's due to previous visits to websites where many espouse pretty hardcore anti-government rhetoric, but that he's not anti-government, just anti-corruption. Anyhow, there's no way to confirm that this is what landed him on the list, as the TSA refuses across the board to acknowledge who's on the list or why. In this case, the passenger apparently really was not dangerous, but how many of those who are on the watch list, who really pose a potential threat, get through security without that extra check due to the TSA's negligence? Does a check after the flight really make up for that? For more on this, I asked a civil rights expert to explain.
But what you saw here is a lot of people give in very easily and go into the room. They get these pat downs, which again are unconstitutional. You don't have to submit to those. And the thing to do here is to stand your ground. If they do pursue you, I would get a lawyer, contact the Rutherford Institute. We'd look at cases like this. We've helped in a number of cases where the TSA has obviously gone too far, and they do in too many cases these days.
Well, Nygard has since flown back to Minneapolis with no hassles, and he says he's relieved to know that he can at least board a flight after being denied a boarding pass before. But what is concerning to many people who have heard his story is that as an American citizen, he's still on a watch list without knowing exactly why or for how long, and has essentially no recourse except to walk away. In Los Angeles, Lindsay France, RT.